What's up, guys? Brandon Joshua here. Me and old staff. I'm in a different location. I'm not in Chesapeake, Virginia right now. I'll be heading back there later on this evening, temporarily. I gotta take care of a little baby rabbit. I gotta go back and feed him, check on him. Little Babu, that's his name, Babu. I gotta check on him. That's the rabbit I've had that's in the wild. Cottontails live 1 to 3 years, and I've had him going on a little over 4 years. So I've already extended his life just by being in my presence. It's kind of amazing to see how you have that effect on animals when you treat them right. Even though he likes to be left alone, and right now I feel bad because I've been like away. I've been studying a lot, doing stuff. And I told my mom today, I was like, I hope he doesn't feel like I've abandoned him because the last month I've really been busy, honestly, and I've been doing a lot of work, and I've literally been feeding them like in the mornings because they eat dusk and dawn. So and I'm always up, guys. I'm always man. God's got me going crazy right now. He literally shuts me off. I'll be sitting here sometimes, like when I'll be doing all my work. I'll get everything wrote down, and like sometimes if I get too tired, I'll tell God, I'm getting really tired. Can I have a break? And then like God, guys, this might sound a little weird to y'all, but I literally will be writing and just be tired because I feel like I can't stop. I feel like I know what's coming, guys. I see what's coming and I know what's coming. I haven't even said it. Like I'm not trying to be. I speak from the heart, and I'm real. Like I said, I disconnected from the world 3 years ago. Walked away from the business world, sold everything, went through my own life struggles during that process, and then I've come out of it. But by the grace of God, I should be dead multiple times. Where I fought that suicide for 3 years every day, and just demons. I mean, all of 2018, when I was sleeping for long periods of time, I was literally having like nightmares every night, having like demons and stuff. Like literally, like I would wake up with stuff like This will sound weird to some of y'all, but true men and women of God, true spiritual people, they will understand this. I actually woke up with like not being able to breathe, like stuff was like choke. In my dream, I would like see a demon like choking me in my dream. It would be like something weird, like a black shadow choking me in my dream. Like I would see me sleeping in my dream, right? But it would be then my me in my dream, like it's really your subconscious, it's your real self, it's your soul, guys. It's your body's your temple. So what these dreams are, I don't I'm not I'm just saying this is my opinion on this part. And look at my phone. Every time I start speaking from the spirit and God's giving me revelation, you notice my phone changes colors, guys. It goes black and white. That's not my phone messing up. Every time I've noticed when I'm getting filled with the Holy Spirit and I'm speaking truth and speaking from the heart, doing what I know I'm meant to do, and I'm giving revelation, I'm speaking things to this dark, wicked world, and even to the brethren and sisters, my own people, the men and women of Christ. Christ Jesus, Yahushua HaMashiach, and our Father Yahweh. I work for the kingdom of Yahweh directly. I am a minister for Him. I am a missionary. I work for Him every day. That's what I wake up and do, and this is why I'm making this video. While I did, I hope it don't cut off because I might have to do another one if it does, but I'll do this one quick, and then I'll do another one when I get some more space on this phone, or I get my laptop at this location, my setup, and then I'll be able to do some way more cool. Y'all about to be seeing some cool stuff, guys. I got some cool stuff coming. Way cool stuff coming. God's given me so many revelations, and I know where I'm at. Everybody's gonna be cool with it. My mother and Ed, which is my mother's. I mean, they've been together 10 years. They're basically husband and wife without the actual title because again, they don't feel they need a title, man. I mean, I know my mom. She's a woman. Of course, she wants the title. She wants a ring and she wants the title. But come on, man. I get Ed's point of view. Like I get my mom's point of view too. I get a woman's point of view. And I get it in general, the point of the perspective in general, but I know the meaning behind the rings now. And it's not what you guys have been told. And I never really cared for it anyway before. I was like, well, if a man and woman really want to be together and be like husband and wife, you don't need the government or some pastor you don't know to marry you and get some license to do it. You can be husband and wife and be that and say you're that. Go out. You don't have to go out and say, "Hey, I'm husband." You've been together 10 years. You live together. You've been together 10 years and you're going to go out and say, "Yeah, we're boyfriend girlfriend." But you live together. You know what I'm saying? You can say you're husband and wife, but you're not doing that because why? The government tells you need a piece of paper to say that you're man and woman, that you're together, that when y'all are having sex as it is, you become one, like the Bible says. And I know there's stuff in there against that, like premarital sex and everything. So me personally, what I would do, what I'm going to do, if I ever get married, this is what I'm gonna do, just to just to cover my ends. I'm gonna go find. I know a few preachers, and I'm gonna get a minister to marry. If I find a woman that God ever puts in my life, I would have one of my friends that's a minister, a legit pastor, that he's got the government paperwork that says he's a legit pastor for the kingdom of Yahweh. I would get one of them to marry me, but it would be one of my friends that I knew, so it's personable. It's not just going to some courthouse and saying, "Hey, here's some money." That it's all about the money, guys, and to log it that y'all are now a couple. So if y'all ever get separated, they're gonna bash y'all and take money from y'all for breaking up because y'all gonna be paying lawyers and all this craziness. It's just all a big game, guys. It's all hogwash, straight up. That's why if I ever meet a woman, God puts a woman in my life, or vice versa. You never know how God works in mysterious ways. You know what I mean? I might be somewhere and God might put a woman in my life, or he may put me in some woman's life, and then we meet. Who knows? I'm not looking. I work for God. I'm not even looking I'm not even interested in getting. I'm too busy right now. See, look, the phone's changing colors again. I'm noticing every time it does it. I'm gonna start just picking it out. But yeah, I'm not even. And it's true. I'm not interested in no woman right now. I don't have time. I've already. Man, God's already fixed me on all that stuff too. I don't have that temptation problem with none of that. So that's fine. That's straight up. I don't. And it's just because I'm so busy. He keeps me so busy. I don't have time to let my mind wander. You know what I'm saying? He keeps me focused, and I keep me focused. Because I've already lived through hell, guys. I ain't going back to hell. I've lived that perversion life. I've lived that messed up life. That suicidal wanting to. My life got. Guys, I was making $33,000 a month. A month. 19,000, 18,800 and some change on signed contracts guaranteed to me that I could base my living on. I was basing my living on almost right. Well, because I always had a little bit of cash too coming in, and it was over this, but I would always just round it up an extra $150 some and say 19,000. I would base my income on 19,000 minimum, but I would always be working from 19 to 33 in between, and I was making all this money. I was driving around. I spent $11,257.83 building my custom jacked up truck. I was driving around an $85,000 custom jacked up truck, huge diesel truck. You know what I'm saying? 8-inch lift, 8-inch BDS suspension lift, stainless steel brake lines, 38-inch, 15.5-inch wide Toyo open country MT tires, $600 some a piece on a 20 by 12 or 20 by 12, or yeah, because I had to get a 20 by 12 because they were out of the other, but 20 by 12 KMC bomb wheel. Uh, I did all kind of cool stuff, and I had a '59 Impala, my own house. You know what I'm saying? I was sponsoring race teams with my logos on it because I had my own business at the time. And I was doing hotel contracts, doing big recycling company. I was doing work for like big recycling company area in this area, which the family that owns that's from New York, and they those guys. That's just a very wealthy family up there in New York. You know what I mean? And so it was an honor doing business for those guys. I've worked for them for 5 years, and of course everybody else as well. I'm just saying that was just one group of guys that I did 5 commercial locations for, and it was an honor. It was they helped me pay my bills and helped me live my life and do the things I was doing, and I worked my butt off, and I made their places look amazing. Because I owned a pretty decent sized landscaping company is what I actually owned. I don't know if I've ever said that. And I did it all through high school, and then I did it legit. I was like drawing up landscaping designs. I was selling landscaping designs. I still have my website up online, actually. I won't say it now here. People that know me, or you can figure it out. If you're smart on computers, you can figure out what it is. It's not hard to figure out nowadays. By just what I've put out, you could easily figure it out. But I, because it's all still up, I still have my website up, and it was showing all my pictures of, well, not all of them, but um, like from, there's at least 5 or 6 years worth of pictures up there from, and it's labeled from like 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I think that there might be, there's just a variety. I have a whole album showing you all the drag cars that we were sponsoring, the drag racing team, the motocross team my brother was racing on, my youngest brother at the time. All kind of cool stuff we was doing, guys. But see, the problem was I lost God and all that, and that's why slowly I got that void just kept getting bigger and bigger, and then I started getting sadder and sadder, even with all that, because the material stuff didn't matter, guys. If it was cool at for a while, and then I was like, man, I don't care about all this. I was letting little kids jump up in my big truck. I'd pull in a parking lot with that big monster truck. Some guys are just kind of, I get it, man, and some people don't want people messing with their nice cars. My 59 Impala now is a little different with, because that car you couldn't just go to the store and buy another fender for, you know what I mean? Because every time I took that 59 Impala out, every time I pulled into the gas station, I would have to go buy this lead additive, because in 59 they had lead in the gasoline. So I would have to go to AutoZone and buy a thing of lead additive, and I would always have to make sure I would keep a couple in the trunk of that car. So when I would go put fuel in it, I would put premium in that old bastard too. Shouldn't call it a bastard because I love that car. I could have been its mama dada. But that 59 Impala, I would have to add a thing of lead additive to it, just to fill it up. And every time I went to the store, gas station, or like a grocery store in it just for fun, I would have at least 3 to 5 people offer to buy it every time. That they would pull in and say, I know this ain't your car. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, man. I would always be that smart aleck type guy, just in good humor. Because they were coming at me like, that's rude, man. I'm in this car. Even though I was a young guy at that time, I was like 25. So I get it. It's a very nice car that I was on a job and I seen it across the street and walked over and said it was in a man's garage in like an $800,000 home. And I was doing work across the street, and I walked over there and said, hey, is that car for, because I just went to a car show 2 weeks before, and I was dating this girl at the time for 4 years. And some of the stuff I went through, kind of things went sour with that. And then, a lot of it's my own doings, but hey, we live and learn. And then, it is what it is. But and I'm not, that's it. And but the 59, I at the time I had told her, I was like, we were at Hampton Coliseum, I said, if I ever see anything, or if I ever see a 59, there was only 2 at that show, I said, I'm gonna buy one. 2 weeks later, I had seen that car. And then I literally walked over and knocked on the man's door and said, hey, because his garage door was like open, and I could see where he had like a for sale sign on it, like with paint that was faded off. So I was like, well, either he tried to sell it and he couldn't sell it, and so he just tried to wipe the chalk off, and it didn't all come off because I could see where it had like half a price, but I couldn't tell how much it was. So I was like, either he bought this car and just tried to wipe it off and didn't clean it off all the way, or he tried to sell this car and he couldn't. So or he changed his mind and he wiped it off and stuck it back in the garage. So I was like, either way, I'm gonna go knock on his door and ask him. Because I used to go walk up and talk to everybody anyway with business. I used to have to meet strangers every day for business, doing meeting jobs, go meeting clients, dealing with. I dealt with pretty high end clients, so I'm going over there as just young man walking into mansions and stuff, dude, doing work for a couple NFL athletes, and like some of them I did work for, like, and the ones I did the work for the athletes, I didn't do it for them directly. I did it for like people of their family. Like I did work for a dude's. I went over to this huge house in the country, and it wasn't like a big mansion, but it was a really nice home, and it with a lot of land, just a beautiful home. Probably every bit of a couple $1 million worth of land, and the home itself was just a big single story. Like if you had that in a neighborhood, it was probably like a $300,000 $400,000 home, but it was a big single story, but a beautiful home. And I when I got up there, she was getting me to quote all this work, and it was like close to $5 grand. And I said, and when it gets big jobs like that, when I had like couple hundred, you know, three, four, $500, couple thousand, I would just do the job, and it is what it is. But that money, I'd be like, okay, you know, I would always ask, like, you know, are you planning to pay with this with a check, cash, or just how, you know, I'm just curious. And I would do it like that. I said for payment reasons, but that's our professional way of asking, like making sure they got the money, basically, or how they're. We knew that she had the money, obviously by what she has. We just want to know, like, making sure, like, how are you gonna do it? We just need to know for our end, legitimately. But also, ultimately, you're thinking that too, like, because you're still meeting a stranger. You don't know this person. For all you know, they're just somebody. This person's out of town, and that's some person just hanging out and pretending to live there, and they're about to take your money, dude. Like, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. But anyway, so yeah, it was an older woman, and she said, "Oh no, 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 my grandson plays for the Carolina Panthers, and he's already given me the money to pay for it." Well, or actually, she said, I got to get the quote from you because he said, as long as it's reasonable that let him know and that just to go ahead and pay for it and he's gonna send me the money back. And I was like, you better get the money first, and joking with her. And then right then and there when I did that, I had the job right then and there. She said, you know what, no matter what it's gonna cost, she said, that right there, you just got yourself hired. And I said, you for real? I said, I shouldn't even have joked like that. I said, I apologize. And she said, no, don't apologize. That right there just got you hired. Whatever it is, as long as it's reasonable, it's job's yours. And I said, and then I joked again. I said, well, since you said I could joke, I said, well, I bet it is if your grandson's paying for it. And he's a Carolina Panther. He got millions of dollars. As I joked with her. And I said, you sure you don't need me to do anything else for you? You want to add to something? Because we were only doing the backyard, right? And it was a huge backyard project, like a lot of pavers and stuff. Big seating area and all. And I said, sure you don't want to go do something in the front yard? I mean, he is a Carolina Panther. What position does he play? And then she's like, oh, he's a linebacker. And I was like, oh, a linebacker? And I was like, is he kind of like Luke Kuechly? Is that who we're talking about? She's like, oh no, it's not him. And it wasn't him. It won't him. And I was like, oh, okay, so he's not him. So it must be like he's a middle linebacker. So it's either on the guy on the left of him or the right of him. And I said, is he a starter? She's like, well, sometimes, but and I said, well, he's at least the backup if he's got this kind of money. She's like, oh yeah, he is. He's second string and he switches out with the first string. So those guys, the starter gets the job. But he's going in, man. He's only going in for 3, 4 plays, and he coming out. They switch in and out. First, second string are basically both first string. The only thing is the guy gets the credit for starting, which is cool, and the other guy gets the credit for starting second string. But nonetheless, any one of them goes down, the next guy's up. So, and they're always switching out. So yeah, it was kind of just funny. That's just a random story I got telling, guys. I'm just chilling. I'm gonna get off here. I gotta go eat dinner. Brandon Joshua, blessings. I'm sorry. Got to go eat dinner. I know they're waiting. We actually gonna eat at the dinner table. Amazing. Blessings.